I've got a new cookbook out and it's all about slow cooking, and this dish is one of my favourites. These are my spiced ginger beer ham hocks. Usually when you think of ham hocks, you think of pea and ham soup, but what I'm going to do is give these a bit of a Christmas feel with the ginger beer, but also some orange and some 5 spice. So delicious. So I'm going to pop these ham hocks, they're about 800 grams each, into some water. And there's 2 stages of cooking this. First of all, you want to cook it really gently, nice and slow, until the meat almost falls off the bone, and then we're going to caramelise it in the oven. It's so good. Now, in this jug is some ginger beer, some classic ginger beer. To that, I'm going to add some dark soy. So all of this, when it starts to cook down, is going to form a lovely glaze. Some orange. Now, I want the orange peel and the juice. So 3 peels, and that can go straight into the pot. I'll cut our orange in half, and then we'll juice this directly into our jug. We want to get as much of that juice out. A few more ingredients, some Dijon mustard, a couple of tablespoons of that. Some vinegar, so red wine vinegar, and the 5 spice. So this is Chinese 5 spice, which has a combination of cloves, cinnamon, there's some star anise in there too. We'll give that a mix, and right there in this jug, that is flavour central. So much going on in there. It's going to be so good with our salty ham hocks. And we'll pour this into our pot. Now this needs to come up to the boil. You may see a few impurities. You can skim that off if you like. Turn the heat down and cook that for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, or until the meat almost falls away from the bone. Okay, the ham hocks are cooked. They're just coming away from the bone. Use a slotted spoon to take these out. I mean, they're still piping hot, so we can't handle them yet. And we'll just pop them into a dish just like this one. The second one, you can see how much meat is on them. Fantastic. And while they're cooling, we can start with our glaze, which is essentially this liquid that we're going to reduce down until it's really sticky. So just use a ladle, and I'm using a pan for this just to speed up the whole process because there's much more space. And I'll add a few ladlefuls of the stock, about 3, and I'll reduce this until it becomes really sticky and glossy. In the meantime, we'll allow these ham hocks to cool down, and then I'll simply remove the rind and leave the meat on the bone. We really want that for presentation. Right, you can really see that we've got a glossy glaze. It's reduced so much, so we'll turn the heat off, and you really don't need too much of the glaze for this. Before I pop this in the oven and start glazing, I do want to add a little liquid just to the base of this dish because I don't want them to burn in the oven and I want them to stay moist. So 1, 2 ladlefuls, be plenty of our liquid. And just using a pastry brush, we're going to coat each hock in this glaze. And see, it's coming together now. It's all worth the wait. Slow cooking, that's why you do it, for these wonderful results at the end. So I'll just baste both of these. They go into the oven around 180 degrees and they're going to cook for 45 minutes. I'll baste them every 15 minutes so we've got a nice thick gloss on them, and then they're ready to serve. How good do these look? I love how they're just slightly charred on the top, super glossy, And the best thing about slow cooked food is just getting 2 forks, and that moment you get to shred it apart. Look at that. See how soft that is? Yum. I love ham hocks. Yes, in a soup, but this way is such a nice way to change it up. Now, this is nice as is, but popped into a roll with my Nan's pickles, nothing beats it. The sweetness of the pickles makes a difference. So a generous spoonful on. If you like some butter, I don't think it needs it. I'll just grab a few chunks of the ham, making sure I get the bits that have that caramelized topping. Oh, look at that. Lid on, squish it together, and have a taste. Slow cooked food. It makes me happy every time. Ham hocks, glazed, they're the best, even better in a bread roll. It's like Christmas every day.